Hey Toy fans, Rob here. It's time for another collection video. I've been pushing myself really hard and I've been kind of teasing it out on social media, but I figured today's the day we'll finally take a look at my Minimates collection. Now I've been setting these guys up for a couple of months, getting different new shelves, clearing off the shelves that I've got, and really trying to make sure I had enough room for all of these things, and frankly I ran out of space. But I don't want to let that stop me from finally sharing with you guys basically my entire collection of Minimate figures. Unfortunately, when it comes to Ninja Turtles and the Street Fighter and some of the more specialized Minimate figures that I've got, well, let's have to take a look at them laying on the floor. But I've set up my Marvel Minimates, I've set up my Star Trek Minimates, I've set up my Ghostbuster Minimates. I've got a lot of guys out and on display and able to share with you guys today, and I'm pretty excited to get to it. So let's go ahead and get things started. Okay, so kicking things off, we've got my shelf of X-Men Minimate figures. And as you can see here, we've got a lot of different eras of X-Men. Starting in the back, we've got the Australian Outback wave of X-Men, going from Rogue here on the left, all the way over to Dazzler on the right. Coming down, we've got the Uncanny X-Men. I was a big fan of those when they were released. All of the Jim Lee era sort of Danger Room training outfits. Below that, we've got the Giant Size X-Men. And then off to the left here, we've got that Minimates jet. Oh, I'm forgetting the name of it now. Stealth Tech jet, I believe it was. That makes for a great Blackbird, or mini Blackbird. Got Nightcrawler coming out of that. There's the Magneto from Uncanny X-Men with the evil Cyclops, I guess you can call it. I don't really have any other characters from his era. But then we've got the John Cassaday era, Astonishing X-Men. Over here we've got the Grant Morrison era New X-Men. We've got a Weapon X and a Wolverine behind them. Figured why not. Got all of the movie X-Men Minimates that I've got, starting with First Class here off to the left, and then we move to Days of Future Past. We've got the Wolverine movie, and then it ends with some more Days of Future Past. Kind of just tried to place them all chronologically. Behind here, we've got the X-Men villains. You'll see we've got Mojo and Spiral and the Brood, Onslaught. We got Apocalypse, and then of course the Freedom Force. Then we come down and we have X-Force with the 90s versions of those characters. Deadpool off to the left. And then down here we've got some of the Deadpool Minimates. I love that Secret Wars Deadpool, one of my favorite Minimates that I've got in my collection. Zenpool off to the left. Of course we got Cable with Baby Hope. More Deadpool Minimates from the Deadpool wave from last year, I think it was. There's a Wolverine that's part Brood. And my son wanted to help me with display shelf, so he actually built that for me out of his Duplos. That was rather sweet of him. Behind all of these Minimates, I've actually got an interior that came with a remote control car. I'm going to have to check out craft shops and see if I can get some more stuff like that to line the back of my shelves. I wish it was bigger, but I do kind of like the way it looks behind all of these X-Men minifigures. Below, we've actually got the Ultimate X-Men Minimates and then Civilian Wolverine and Juggernaut that came out around the same time. Minimates Ultimate Cyclops and Jean Grey were actually my very first Minimate 2-pack. And unfortunately, the very first Cyclops I picked up was missing his hand. But it didn't stop me from becoming a full-time collector of the series. And mostly, Diamond gets it right. They don't really have a lot of errors that I've encountered. Maybe once in a blue moon I'll encounter an error, but I've been very happy, even though that's the way I started things off. Over here we've got the Mass Effect Minimates. These were exclusive to GameStop and blind bags. I never got all of them because I just don't like buying blind bags without knowing what I'm getting. But I picked up several of them and thought I got a pretty nice collection. To the right, we've got the pilot for the Minimates Max Tech Stealth Jet. Coming over to the right, we've got my Star Trek Minimates. You'll see here all of the villain characters. Hugh the Borg is in there. He's not really a villain, I suppose, but otherwise it's the villain characters. And then we've got movie Kirk and Khan next to series Kirk and Khan. Over here, we've got a couple more captains, Archer, Picard, and Cisco. Then the Toys R Us exclusive Janeway and 7 of 9 2-pack. And then we've got movie Picard and later seasons DS9 to have the matching uniforms there, matching style anyway. Coming up to the top, we got some Mega Blocks, but then we've got the Kirk Minimate. I suppose that was the first Minimate that ever entered my household, but that was my brother's at the time. He was nice enough to let me have that. And then over here we've got that Mega Blocks transporter room, but then we've got Spock and Captain Pike Minimates. And then the one time I got to go to San Diego Comic-Con, I picked up this really sweet Minimates Enterprise. It actually came with Tribbles and a smiling Kirk in his green tunic. So, pretty cool piece from my collection there, but there's all of my Star Trek Minimates, and they blend well with the Mega Blocks. Coming over here, we've got the Marvel, we'll just call it the Marvel shelf. Basically, not X-Men. I mean, I've got my extra Nightcrawler over here. And you'll see Zombie Sabretooth and Zombie Pyro up here up front. We even got Some other zombies running from first appearance Blade. And then in the back, we've got some Marvel Knights with Daredevil and Elektra and Punisher. Then, of course, the all-new Hawkeye, some Spider-Man Minimates. Some of these are Walgreens figures, but they blend in pretty well with your comic book Spider-Man figures. I was very happy about how those came out. We've got some Avengers characters here in the back from different 2-packs. I've kind of blended them all, but I just tried to put them together by team. And you see, I really like that Scarlet Witch in the back. She's got some metallic red paint around her face, which looks pretty great. And then, of course, the Toy Fair magazine mail-away exclusive Iron Fist and Luke Cage. And for a long time, that was the only way to get those guys in Minimate form. I think now they've done a best-of series and done modern versions of those characters. I like that Falcon cap quite a bit. Then in the back, we've got some villains. Green Goblin, the regular Morbius, Hobgoblin, of course, Ultron, Superior Spider-Man, oh, Mysterio, that's a great-looking minifigure, and of course Venom and Carnage. And as we come over some more, so the Zombie Kingpin and Zombie Vulture I wasn't able to fit down below. And then we got some cosmic characters. And then on the right side of this, we've actually gotten, bear with me here, let me move, sorry about the shaky cam. Bear with me here. All right, so we've got the Marvel Cinematic Universe for the most part. We've got Cap and Iron Man down here up front, unmasked since I have the mask right behind them. We've got Spider-Man 3, Peter Parker, Dancing Peter, if you will, and Topher Grace, Eddie Brock, even though it looks nothing like him. Oh, there's the first Bruce Banner Minimate figure off here to the right that came out during the 2003 Hulk film and came with a Hulk that didn't have a torso adapter piece that made him look big, kind of like we see there with Grey Hulk. But I've got Hulkbuster and Grey Hulk fighting with Scarlet Witch kind of controlling the battle. And then just some MCU Minimates here, Dark Elf, Selvig, Claw, more characters from the MCU, Ant-Man and Ultron version 1. But I thought it was just kind of great to have all of these MCU Minimate figures together. It's kind of nice to see how far they've come, both the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Diamond Select with what they've made. Guardians in the back, of course, Yondu. I don't have any of the Minimates from the new movie, unfortunately, just the original one. But I do have this ship up here. It comes with a Nova Corps member and the original Rocket Minimate. And then that ship is actually part of that 2.5-inch Hasbro Guardians 1 movie line. It's one of those ships that created the energy shield at the end of the first movie, but it's in perfect scale with Minimate figures. This ship worked if you got the Milano. They even made a Quinjet, all in that same style. Now, they were meant for Hasbro figures, but Minimates fit perfectly inside of them. So if you ever see those things on clearance, pick them up, man. If you're a Minimates collector, they're perfect. Coming over here, I guess we'll look at my Ninja Turtle Minimates. Like I said, these ones are going to be on the floor. I have a shelf. I just don't have anywhere to put it on my bigger shelves. And my son was helping me set up some of the turtles so you can see some pretty great little poses there. But then we come down and you see I have all the Space Turtles. There's 3 of them there. I've got another one over here in this 2-pack. I've got a few Turtle 2-packs that aren't open yet. But I got some Army Builders with the Krang droids, just some Mystic Turtles, some alternate versions of the standard Turtles. And then I recently did a trade with Dan from Toy Galaxy, and he gave me the first appearance comic book Turtles, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. This thing is pretty nice, and I love that they've reused the Nightcrawler feet for these turtle figures. But yeah, once I got them out of the packaging, fortunately they have weapon storage on the back, but I'd have no other way to know who's who. But really cool to get that, so I'm pretty excited to have that. One of these days I'll have all of these guys set up, so I'm looking forward to getting that done. Over here, we've got the Tekken, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Marvel vs. Capcom Minimates. I just recently ordered from Luke's Toy Store, Crimson Viper and Rufus. And then we have some zombie Minimates here. This is the Jay and Bob zombies, as well as some Walking Dead Minimate figures. And then another part of that trade with Toy Galaxy was these Godzilla Minimate figures. And I didn't have any in my collection yet, but they look pretty awesome. Like the fire coming out of Godzilla. The larvae are pretty interesting as far as minifigures go. I like when Diamond Select tries to get experimental. They actually made an Amaterasu. Unfortunately, she's not fully assembled. But it's just kind of cool to see how they repurpose Minimate bodies from time to time. But then coming over here, and bear with me, we've got the rest of my Mega Bloks figures and, of course, Ghostbusters. Now, this whole shelf here is devoted to Ghostbusters. I've got the Playmobil Ecto 1. I started a review of this and just never finished it, unfortunately. That car is absolutely phenomenal. I tried to look at the measurements before I ordered it. I thought maybe it would fit in scale with Minimates. Unfortunately, as you see, minifigures are just too small for it, which is really a drag. If they were a 3-inch figure line, or dare I say even 3 1/4 inch, they'd probably fit the car better, but it's still a really nice looking piece. Also got a vintage Peter over here, the oldest Ghostbusters toy I've got, and the only one I have from that era. But then we've got the Ecto Mini Ghostbusters, followed by the I Love This Town box set, followed by the female Ghostbusters. We've got the Parade Float version of Stay Puft in the back. I've got Jay and Bob, since these are kind of movie Minimates, as well as Ripley and an alien. I think having Sigourney Weaver with the Ghostbuster Minimates just fits nicely. Maybe I should put her closer to Peter Venkman though, huh? But anyway, so that's my Minimate collection. As you can see, I've got the Ghostbusters, I've got video game Minimates, Ninja Turtles, and then enough X-Men to make their own shelf, the Star Trek figures, and then the Marvel Minimates. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed what you saw here. If you have any questions about who somebody was, or where I got these, or just really anything, let me know in the comments below. And thanks for watching. You guys can keep up with me on Twitter and Instagram at D21Beast, and I'll see you next time.